Several MPs have voiced their concern that the MACC will be among the agencies that are investigating the claims of a corporate mafia. Meanwhile, Gobind Singh Dio has told authorities to act swiftly against those accused of desecrating religious symbols. Stay tuned for this and more on KiniNews. 3 lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have raised concerns that the MACC is involved in the multi-agency probe that the cabinet had ordered into the corporate mafia claims. This comes after Communications Minister Fahmi Fadzil said the cabinet had tasked the police, IRB, MACC, and SC, among others, to probe the corporate mafia claims and look into loopholes enabling corporate manipulation. Speaking to Malaysia Kini, PKR MPs Hassan Abdul Karim and Wong Chen, along with past lawmaker Ahmad Fadli Shari, said MACC probing itself is a clear conflict of interest. Hassan called it a funny legal procedure and said that without an RCI supervising, executive agencies such as the police, IRB, and SC are not qualified to probe another executive agency when there is a major scandal. He said this is as all the agencies are controlled and responsible to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. Hassan insisted that an RCI is the only solution and it must be set up immediately. Meanwhile, Fadli said that having an RCI avoids issues of conflict of interest and ensures the integrity of investigations. He said in major issues that involve public interest, the need for truly independent mechanisms is crucial to ensure the truth gets uncovered without any doubts. Wong also said that the RCI should be the one calling the shots and giving directives to specialized teams from the police, IRB, and SC to investigate the allegations. Lawyer Nizamuddin Hamid, who is representing Na'imah Abdul Khalid, was called in for questioning at Bukit Aman today. He had his statement recorded to assist in investigations into allegations of a plot to overthrow the government and undermine national stability, reportedly involving a local influential figure and an international media agency. Nizamuddin was reported to have arrived at Bukit Aman at 10:10 a.m. accompanied by his lawyers. Speaking to reporters at the scene, Nizamuddin said that claims against his client, Na'imah, are mere fantasies and questioned how a 70-year-old widow could have the power to topple a parliamentary democracy. He reiterated that Na'imah has no involvement in Bloomberg's expose and has a right to defend her late husband's legacy. Previously, Inspector General of Police Khalid Ismail said that police have identified several individuals in relation to the case and are working to obtain their statements. According to Khalid, the plot involved an influential individual utilizing international media outlets. He said the case is being probed under Section 124B of the Penal Code, which criminalizes activities deemed detrimental to parliamentary democracy and carries a jail term of up to 20 years upon conviction. The probe came after police received a report over the alleged conspiracy on February 26. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. DAP National Chairperson Gobind Singh Dio has urged the police to take immediate action against those accused of desecrating religious symbols. This came following the Cabinet's discussion on the matter yesterday. In a statement, Gobind said the police are duty-bound to keep the peace and maintain public order. However, he noted that recently there has been a lack of action against those spewing racial hatred, which has resulted in flare-ups that directly threaten the stability of our nation. He cited the recent cases involving the abuse of the Quran and said that the quick action taken by the authorities sets the necessary precedent that such behavior will not be tolerated. He added that similarly swift action should be taken against those who disrespect the sacred trident or Sulam in Hinduism. He said failing to act in such cases risks heightening racial tensions, stressing that racial harmony and unity must be preserved by upholding and enforcing the law without fear or favor. With this, he called on the Inspector General of Police to take immediate steps to identify and bring those responsible for the desecration of religious symbols to court. He said the matter was raised and discussed in Cabinet yesterday, adding that while the government's stance is clear, enforcement agencies must follow through. Johor Region Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim has challenged his critics to end his influence in football over the Heritage Players scandal. In a post on X, he urged them not to miss the opportunity and to completely end his influence and credibility in the local as well as international football industry. Tunku Ismail remarked that the majority of supporters from opposing teams had labeled him as the individual fully responsible for the issue involving the 7 suspended players. He added that his detractors should seize this moment to mobilize their machinery across social media, mainstream media, governing bodies, legal avenues, and elsewhere. He stressed that they should use this time and opportunity to the fullest and must finish him once and for all in football. He says simply talking or writing will not change anything. They should stand united and put in more effort. Previously, Tunku Ismail had claimed that he was being made a scapegoat after the Court of Arbitration for Sports upheld FIFA's findings and maintained a 12-month suspension on the players involved, though only for official matches. However, he blamed insiders within the Football Association of Malaysia, claiming they had an axe to grind with him over financial matters. He alleged that some FAM officials approached him regarding projects, avoiding MACC investigations, among other things, and were also unhappy that the government channeled funds to the national football team. Tunku Ismail accused these individuals of meeting the media, hardcore football fans, and social media influencers to create a sabotage campaign using various narratives. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Police will summon independent preacher Zamri Vinov to assist in investigations into allegations of making threatening, provocative, and racist remarks during a TikTok live broadcast. According to Bernama Penang Police Chief Azizi Ismail said, Zamri is being called in following a police report lodged against him on March 8th. He said they need to summon him to assist in the investigation, and he is expected to present himself to provide a statement soon. Azizi added that the case is being investigated under Section 4(1) of the Sedition Act 1948, Section 504 of the Penal Code for intentional insult with intent to provoke a breach of the peace, and Section 233(1) of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. Meanwhile, he said police are in the final stages of completing an investigation report regarding a separate incident of criminal intimidation and mischief directed at a vehicle driven by Zamri on March 7th. He told Bernama that to date, 6 men aged between 20 and 31 have been detained to assist with the investigation under Section 506 of the Penal Code for criminal intimidation and Section 427 for committing mischief. An economist said Malaysia needs to reduce its reliance on fossil fuels as its primary energy source by accelerating the transition to renewable energy, including solar and hydropower. This comes amid the latest conflict in West Asia, which has disrupted global oil supplies and pushed up prices. Malaysian University of Science and Technology economist Barjoyai Bardai pointed out that the ongoing conflict in the Middle East has made it clear that Malaysia's long dependence on imported fossil fuels places it at high economic and strategic risk. With this, he said the government should bring forward its timelines in the National Energy Transition Roadmap, which had set targets by 2050. Elaborating, Barjoyai said that accelerating the NETR will reduce the country's vulnerability to global oil shocks, strengthen its economic resilience, and position Malaysia as a regional clean energy leader. He explained that transitioning to renewables would also protect households and industries from future energy price surges and enhance sustainability in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. He said given the severity of the global energy disruptions, the argument for shortening the 2050 timeline or at least accelerating near-term milestones is now stronger than ever. Barjoyai added that NETR targets, including increasing renewable energy sources to 40% by 2035, should be brought forward by 5 to 10 years with an aggressive early phase implementation starting this year until 2035. He stressed that the cost of inaction would be greater than the cost of transition. The NETR is aimed at increasing renewable power sources to a combined 70% by 2050, reducing reliance on oil and almost completely moving away from coal, with natural gas as a transitional fuel. As of 2020, natural gas constituted the largest portion of Malaysia's primary energy supply at 42.4%, followed by crude oil and petroleum products at 27.3% and coal at 26.4%. And that's all for me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.